Namaskar. Myself, Dr. Amrita Duhan. I'm IPS by profession, an MBBS MD doctor by degree. I'm married. I have a 5.5-year-old son. I was an associate professor in the Department of Pathology in a government medical college before being selected as an IPS, and right now I'm ASP under training. My fellow co-speakers at this platform, they've given new ideas to bring a change, positive change in the society, to bring a change in the other people's lives. My achievement may not be that big, but I can certainly share some experiences of my life to make positive changes in your ordinary lives to make it extraordinary. We're all not born with the genetics of excellence. Some, like me, they have to work hard. When I was a child, there used to be a serial telecasted on Doordarshan, Udaan. I was really fascinated by this serial and highly impressed by its main protagonist, Kalyani Singh, who coincidentally played an IPS officer in it. There's one dialogue in that serial which had an everlasting impression on me, and it still resonates in my mind. It was the reply she offered when asked in an interview what would she like to do in her life. I quote unquote, "मैं टेबल के इस पार से उस पार की दूरी तय करना चाहती हूँ." That is, someday I'll sit on the other side of the table where you are. But with time, as the memory of the serial faded, so did my focus. The ultimate aim, dream of any lower middle class family parent is that the child either becomes a doctor or an engineer. So to have a secure future, I pursued MBBS, and then to make it more securer, did MD. Somehow, I was really well satisfied in it. Though this did not come in a platter to me, I had to work really very hard. I was the first doctor in my whole family, an MBBS doctor. Subsequently, I did my SRship and then was selected as an assistant professor in a government medical college. Simultaneously, I also became a homemaker. So I was leading a life which a traditional, typical Indian female should live. Being a doctor was far more a great feat in my whole family, including my in-laws. Civil services, it was meant for aliens. Then 3 years back, my own younger real brother, he got selected in civil services and was allocated IPS. He had paved his way himself. Then he asked me to walk on that path. He rekindled the fire inside me, and he motivated me to follow my long-forgotten dreams. I was reluctant because I was very happily settled. I was a doctor, a very noble profession. I was earning well, had respect in the society, and I had invested my 15 most important years of my life in this medical profession. I also had a family and a son to look after. A son who was young enough to need my presence and old enough to complain about my absence. I asked my brother why. He said, "Open your wings and just once try to fly." Then I prioritized. I thought that my family is really very important to me. But where do I stand in my life? What about my aims, my aspirations, my desires, my ambitions, my thought of giving back to the society? During the course of my life, have I lost my identity as an individual? Now am I afraid, or have I lost the courage to go out of my comfort zone? Is my age, my profession, my family coming in the way of my dreams? No, they should not. In fact, they should become your strength. So I started preparing. I didn't do anything extraordinary while preparing for UPSC for the exam. I just studied 12 hours on an average for a day. Seriously. And that too, 5 days a week, because weekends I used to keep free for my family. I'll tell you an incident. On a weekend, when I went back home, my son was sleeping on bed. I just slept beside him. When he woke up, he saw me. And then he ran, yelling at his grandparents, "There's some auntie sleeping on my bed." It took some time for him to realize that I was his mother. So these experiences, whenever I was feeling low and I just wanted to quit or didn't want to take this preparation seriously, I thought of these things. That this is the time I'm stealing away from my family, so I must make the best use of it. And that is where the 12-hour study did become effective. And when the final list of the civil services result was out, my name was there in it. When I started my training in National Police Academy, Hyderabad, I was 33 years. I was 33 years old, had bared a child, was into medical profession from last 15 years, was a homemaker for last 5-6 years, so that means no physical activity for the last 16, 17 years. And who hasn't heard about the dreaded outdoor staff and the rigorous schedule of NPA? I was very apprehensive. I wouldn't be able to do it. And my body, aged body started showing the changes of wear and tear in the few weeks only. While there was not a single day when I went to the fields and I did not have any body pain. Every day was a challenge. Then one day, I felt an excruciating pain in my pelvic region, in the hip, near the hip joint. It was so severe that I couldn't lift my leg, walk properly, or even change sides while sleeping. It went on for days. But I ran. I ran with the squad. I lingered on, motivated by my friends, colleagues, and the staff. I didn't stop my physical exercises. The only change was the dose in my painkiller. The dose increased as per the severity of pain. When the pain did not subside, I just got an X-ray done. It was complete fracture in one of the bones in the pelvic region. So when I look back during and think about those days, I can proudly stand here and say that with that injury, I did 16 kilometers cross-country, 21 kilometers half marathon, and 40 kilometers route march with 10 to 15 kgs of backpack on my back. And I did it in best timings. So these experiences, they taught me that the false limits which I had I'd drawn around me, they were merely obstacles in my path. My actual limits were far beyond. There were many new experiences in NPA. One was, we had a 20-feet vertical rope, which we had to climb as a part of our outdoor exam. Everyone, it is no big feat. I saw everyone climb it effortlessly, just as they were walking, as simple as walking on road. But the very first time when I touched that rope, I couldn't even hold on to that rope. But somehow I thought, I want to, reach the upper end of that rope. I tried it. I tried to do it daily for continuously many months. Even in sleep, I dreamt of reaching that height. But till the last date of exam, I couldn't do it. But I did not lose hope. And I did not stop trying. I tried even on the exam day. And finally, I reached and touched that upper end of the rope. During my passing out parade, I was declared the best female outdoor probationer, the best female all-rounder probationer, and the second best probationer in the whole batch, including all males and females. I am a very ordinary person, but the one thing which I had extraordinarily in me was my height. I'm too tall, and I was mocked for it in my school days by my friends and in my family for my future marriage prospects. But today, it was considered a total waste. Means, this much height, what does he use? But today, I stand proudly here because I'm into a profession where this would help me, and I feel proud, to have donned this uniform, and which suits me and which suits this height. People often ask me, how different you feel coming into a totally different profession. Means, what are the changes you observe? You were a doctor, now you're a police officer. I say, it is not the case. They both are not that different. In fact, they have their similarities. We both work to weed out the evil, one from the body, the other from the society. We both work to serve the needy. We both have long and unpredictable working hours. And we never get to celebrate festivals with the family. Here, I'll differ. In being a doctor, because you have a duty roster in emergency, so you get to spend few of the festival with your family, but being a police officer, from the lowest to the highest rank, each and every police personnel has to be on duty in every festival of the country throughout the year, no matter what, so as to let the public celebrate each and every festival peacefully and happily. And in recent times, unfortunately, we both are beaten up by the public. Here, I would want to say that all of us, including me, the public, needs to understand that to fulfill our professional duties, we also need to have ordinary, average family life. Every aspect of life is important to give it complete meaning. Taj Mahal was not built by an extraordinary guy. It was built by the sum total of the ordinary efforts, of the best efforts made by ordinary people to build the eighth wonder of the world. Every ordinary effort made by you with the best intentions and done in good faith will ultimately yield extraordinary results one day. You must have heard the story about the rabbit and tortoise. Everyone is not a rabbit. But if you do your work sincerely, consistently, persistently, a rabbit can perform extraordinary well a tortoise can perform extraordinary well to defeat a rabbit. Dhanyawad and Jai Hind.